Welcome to the Marketing Strategies for Drastic Results show. My name is Tony Harris Taylor, and I am your host. I'm the CEO and founder of Drastic Results Marketing and Sales Coaching. I am a multi-unit award-winning franchisee with Network in Action, the host of the Viral Networking Conference, and they call me the Networking Queen. Welcome to today's show. Today, we're going to have a hot topic. Sizzling. I wore red for the topic, all right? Okay. Red glasses, all that. And so the topic is around diversity in franchising, or the lack of diversity in franchising. So I'd been an entrepreneur for almost 30 years when I was first introduced to becoming a franchisee. 30 years. I've been networking since 2005, so almost 20 of those 30 years, I was actively out in the community networking and never got offered the opportunity to go into franchising until 2019. So, when I thought about franchising, it was always chicken, burgers, storefronts, Subway. Pretty much, when I thought franchising, I thought hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. And I thought franchising was out of reach for me. It wasn't until I went to the first IFA conference, after being a franchisee for a year and a half, that I realized that franchising was bigger than my original thoughts. And it got me to thinking, why isn't franchising beyond the traditional models talking to Black entrepreneurs, to Blacks leaving corporate, to Hispanics? What's happening? Why isn't the community reaching out to other networks? Now, I've heard it. Those communities don't have a lot of money to invest. That's not true. I am Black. I invested in my franchise. I have seen Black people run startups, and they have created them from scratch, which costs the same money as investing in a franchise. Here's what I know for sure. The franchise industry is not really talking to us. I'm stepping on some toes right now, and I'm not the controversial one, but I got to call it like I see it. And I get it, because there's some misconceptions, there's some myths, and plus it's all about the comfort zone. So when I go to IFA, I can count the number of brown people in the room. That's sad, y'all. And we got to do better. And I have a special guest today, and we're going to have that hot conversation about diversity, the lack thereof, and how you can partner with us to help. We're not mad. We just need to get it right. And I belong to a mastermind organization where there are 400 6, 7, 8-figure Black entrepreneurs. All startups. They have the money to invest beyond athletes and all of that. Regular people. Those minorities leaving corporate, they have the same 401ks everybody else has. So when we come back after this break, we're going to talk to Maliesa Cadogan of Hot Perspectives. And the topic is hot, and it's okay. We got to have the conversation because we have some solutions to help you fix it. We'll be right back with Maliesa Cadogan.
Are you a franchisor grappling with how to stimulate your franchisees' growth and revenue? Are the phrases, "I'm not comfortable networking," "I'm an introvert"? Enter Tony Harris Taylor, your answer to these challenges. With her expert guidance and program, you can empower your franchisees to conquer networking and community outreach. Tony's program is designed to equip your franchisees with the skills and confidence to show up to the right events with the right people. It goes beyond making connections. It's about nurturing and leveraging these relationships. It's about following up, collaborating, and generating leads and referrals to maximize conversions. And ultimately, increased revenue for your franchisees and for you, the franchisor. Are you ready to unlock this potential? Reach out to us at 832-479-2088. Let's embark on this journey of growth and success together.
All right. Welcome, Maliesa. I am so excited to have this conversation with you. In your own words, would you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me, Tony. My name is Maliesa Cadogan. I'm here with Hot Perspectives. I am a certified diversity, equity, and inclusion coach and a franchise expert with 15 years of corporate franchising experience across HR, operations, and training. Hot.
That is hot, girl. I love it. Well, you heard my opening, so let's get to it.
Yes.
So you're certified in diversity, equity, inclusion, and you've been in the franchise space. How many years?
15 years.
15 years.
Yeah.
What's the problem that you see with diversity in franchising?
Yeah. Well, I'm located here in Canada, and I happen to live in one of the most diverse cities in the world. I live in Toronto, and, in my experience, the communities where our franchise organizations are, whether it's fast food or service driven, they're serving a very diverse community, but the franchise owners and operators don't necessarily reflect those communities every time. And I see how that plays into decision making for customers. I see how that plays into confidence for team members and other franchise partners as well. And I see how it can be discouraging for people in the community who want to be entrepreneurs and want to be business owners to not necessarily see a path in.
Yeah. So why do you think the franchise community hasn't done more to reach minorities?
Yeah, there's so many different ways to answer that question, but I think the main thing is intentionality. It doesn't happen without intentionality. I've had the opportunity to work with a couple of smaller brands, mom and pops that were just growing. And then I've also had the opportunity to work with some of the larger international top 3 franchisors. And something I've noticed is when a business is first starting out, the requirements to get in is just who has the money. Whoever has the money gets the location or gets the business, right? But when you're responsible for the growth of a brand, it has to be more than that. It has to be about the passion. It has to be about the commitment. It has to be about the engagement and the connection to the local community to really thrive and do well. So I think one of the biggest challenges is we don't have enough leadership that cares about diversifying the franchisee population. And until we make that shift where we look at and measure things like passion, engagement, and community involvement, we're going to be stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's just, for me to have been a entrepreneur for 30 years and nobody ever said the word franchise to me. And when it was presented to me, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't have the investment. My franchisor took a liking to me and gave me an opportunity. And I've recommended and brought 8 or 9 franchisees to the brand. I'm the rookie of the year, brand ambassador. Nobody is more passionate about his brand than me, next to him. Community Service Award in the name of the organization. And dang it, I'm not the only one. You know what I mean? So I think that the IFA has a Black Leadership Committee. I've tried to work with them. I'm just being 100 on this call today because we have all got to do better. Listen, and the Hispanics is taking over. And I ain't mad at them. They saw an opportunity. They came in here. They went to work. And they're gonna, you talk about the Hispanic franchise, Latino franchise, in a minute, that's where it's gonna be. And if these brands don't get on board, they're going to be left behind. So here's the deal. How do you help them at Hot Perspectives?
Yeah, I think I heard a little bit of your story during the intro as well. And something that really stuck out to me was that education piece, right? The lack of education, and it's lack of education for the entrepreneur, and it's lack of education for the franchisor. So I know, with your business with Drastic Results, you work on that networking and closing the gap on the confidence piece and how to engage with your community. Where Hot Perspectives comes in is working with leaders and working with organizations to help uncover the opportunities within these communities. How do we leverage the places and spaces where we already are? We already have locations in these places. How do we connect with the communities there? So through my business, I usually take a look at the HR, operations, and training systems. Those are the heartbeat of any franchise organization. And I look for opportunities of where we can create more pathways to connect to these underrepresented groups.
Agreed. So with my business and networking, you want to know how to reach us? Ask me. I'll tell you where we are. I'll tell you what to say. I'll tell you, I'll take you. I will take the brand with me to the places where we hang out, because we don't know y'all exist either. We don't know what we don't know. And I did not know there were home-based franchises, part-time, low cost, low entry, $10,000, $25,000. We got that.
Yes.
So if you want seriously to diversify your population, you got to train your development team. You've got to teach them where to go, what to say, how to embrace community. And it's not hard. Look, at the end of the day, we're all human. Yes. And it's about making a connection.
100%.
I don't care who we're talking to. It's all about making a connection. And 100%. So I know you and I have some things on the horizon that we are going to do in 2024 to try to move the needle slightly. And this doesn't exclude women either.
No.
So we're not just talking about skin color. We're talking about gender. We're talking about skin color. We're talking about socioeconomic places. We got to do better. We have to.
Tony, on that note there, I had the opportunity to participate 2 weeks ago in a trade show, my very first one. And and I can tell you, echoing what you mentioned earlier, people have the experience, people have the money. It might not always be the millions, that certain organizations are looking for, but they want to know, hey, I have $50,000 I'm ready to invest. I have $30,000, $100,000 I'm ready to invest. I just want to make sure that the brand that I invest in is going to take me on the long term, is going to help me build that legacy. And whenever I talk to people about the value of franchising and becoming a part of that system, it's so that you don't have to go at it alone. you have that network, you have that community, you have that support, and you don't have to recreate the wheel. You can use the systems and processes that are already proven and make them better, and do what you got to do. But I think, again, how do we work with franchisors to care about diversifying their franchise population? How do we get them to invest and put resources behind expanding their networks, right? Because it's not enough to just say we care about diversity, and because our franchise population is not white male, it means we're diverse. Not white male does not equal diverse. I'd like to see different age populations, different genders, different socioeconomics, people with different life experiences. It makes things more rich. It gives you perspective. It helps you grow and innovate. There's so much value to having different diverse voices at the table.
Absolutely. So, and I love you brought in age and everything else. Here's another thing, and here's a tip. A hot button for Blacks and Latinos is generational wealth.
Yes.
And no better way to do that than franchising. When we come back, we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to ask Maliesa the 2 questions I ask all of my guests. We'll be right back. Speaking of diversity, I'm proud to say that I probably have the most diverse network and action groups in our whole community, because I think I'm one of the only brown. There's 3 of us. So out of 120. All right. So there you go.
Tony, that doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me at all. And I think one of the things that I've noticed is that, I'm just going to say, Black women rock, and we are the connectors, and we are the people that bring the sauce and the passion and the vibes, and people are attracted to that, right? And so even in terms of the franchising industry, and I talk a lot about representation matters. And just by you being, even though you're just one of 3, your face, your energy, your story, right? Not just as a Black woman, as someone that didn't have all the money, as someone who didn't have the education and the experience, right? But had the passion, the drive. Telling that story and sharing it, I'm sure that's helped you be as successful as you are today.
Absolutely. So thank you for that. Yes, we do rock.
Yes.
And so, all right. So here's the first question. What's the most drastic step you've ever taken in business?
Whew. As an entrepreneur, finding funding is really challenging sometimes. And there was an organization, it's actually an extension of the IFA. We call it here the CFA in Canada, the Canadian Franchise Association. And the cost of entry is very high for the membership fee is very high. And so I was trying to get creative in how to fund the membership, because I knew it would be really important to the work I want to do and the impact I want to make. The CFA is an organization with a board that doesn't have much diversity reflected. It's, 3 women out of, a board of 22 people. There's no people of color that I've seen reflected there. So coming into that space, I knew, even though it was expensive, even though I couldn't really afford it, I took a chance. I joined the organization. I asked for help from friends and family to do it, but I invested in that. And it's honestly helped me to make new connections. It's helped me to build my confidence navigating spaces where there's still some resistance to diversity, equity, and inclusion work. And it's helped me find my voice as a new entrepreneur as well, because I've had opportunities. I mean, you and I met on a CFA call.
Absolutely.
So talking about connections
Absolutely.
and taking a chance.
That's right.
We're here
Had
today
you not
because
done
of that.
we would not be friends. And so, yeah, I'm super excited about you being a part of that we're doing this together. And we did meet on a virtual call, and we got our first date. We clicked, and here we are. And big things. And here's what I want to tell you about Maliesa. She, like me, has a heart for helping other business owners. So she did that trade show a couple weeks ago, and she took my marketing material out there as well. She didn't have to do that. So when you work with Maliesa, she has a heart for everybody's success. So make sure you reach out to her if you're serious about putting action behind your talk around diversity. Here's my last question, and that is, how has networking helped you in your life and business?
Yeah, that's a great question. Franchising, as we've been talking about, it really is a people business, Tony. It really is building a strong, trusting partnership between the franchisor and the franchisee owner, right? And so I would say prioritizing time with people who I know share my values for a more diverse franchising ecosystem. I see people's face light up when I talk to them about franchising. And when I'm talking about people, I'm talking about young people, Black people, brown people, women, underrepresented groups in franchising. Networking has helped me to be more show up more confidently. It's helped me to support and help and bring others along for the journey. And I love that part. Like you said, I love helping people. So it gives me an opportunity to do that. And honestly, just to grow as a person, right? Just to grow as a person. You meet different personalities, you meet people with different life experiences, and there's always something to learn in these conversations. That's my favorite part about networking. I don't go in with the intention of, I need to get a client or I need this person, to pay me something necessarily. It's, what can I learn from them? What can they learn from me? And how can we potentially work together to do greatness for the two of us, or for the both of us? So we both win.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, you're amazing. You're up there. I'm down here, but we're going to find a way to meet up in the middle.
Yeah.
I already know we're going to meet in person. I come to Toronto at least. I have a whole network out there. I haven't even shared that with you, but I have a whole network.
I can't wait. I met somebody at the trade show a couple weeks ago. And we took a selfie and sent you the picture because he was like, I know this woman. So I can't wait to meet
so crazy. And what's so funny is right here, he sent me this card.
Oh, wow.
He's something else. But I bet you thought, this girl is the real deal. She knows people everywhere. Well, tell everybody how to get in touch with you.
Yeah. So thank you. I'm on LinkedIn right now, so you can search me by my name, Maliesa Cadogan. It's right on the bottom there. If you want to book time with me, 30 minutes, no charge, no obligation. We can talk, see if it's a fit. You can visit my website at www.hotperspectives.com, and you'll see my booking calendar there.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for giving us a little bit of your time, sharing your perspective, and let's do some things. You're in Canada, I'm in the US. Let's help move the diversity needle a little bit more, and just help some generational wealth, create some generational wealth for our
100%. 100%.
Awesome. Well, thank you. We will be right back with my final thoughts. That's right. Don't forget to pick up your book, Show Up, Be Up, Follow Up to Blow Up. That's the name of my program, by the way. That's the program where I'm going into franchises and teaching franchisor and development people how to show up, where to show up, what to say when you do show up, and then follow up. The fortune is in the follow up. Now, wasn't that a hot conversation? I told you it was a hot conversation. Listen, we love franchising. We love what franchising is doing for entrepreneurship. And there are plenty of diverse communities that need to know that franchising exists. So Maliesa is here to help. I'm here to help. Let's move the diversity needle in franchising. I appreciate you all watching. Sharing is caring. Don't hesitate to share. And please, 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 if you are listening and you're in the franchise space, get in touch with me as well. Meet with TonyHarrisTaylor.com. Find me on LinkedIn, and let's talk about how to help your franchisees to bring in more revenue through relationships. This is Tony Harris Taylor saying, take a drastic step today for a fantastic tomorrow, and I'll see you next week.